Hello, brothers and sisters. At MaconFBC, we, your pastors, have been following the COVID-19 virus pandemic situation closely. We want to protect our church family physically as well as emotionally and spiritually. At a time of national emergency, we know it's important that we still be able to get together and pray, get together and hear God's Word, get together and encourage one another. But we know that this gathering together can be potentially dangerous. As of last night, the CDC has recommended that groups no larger than 50 get together. If we have any events or any gatherings that are above the size of 50, they recommend canceling or postponing those events until 8 weeks have passed in order to limit and blunt the spread of this virus. At MaconFBC, we want to adhere to our governing authorities. We want to follow their recommendations as closely as possible. But at the same time, we cannot just cancel services. As a church of 350 or more, we need to creatively think of new ways that we can continue to gather with one another and yet remain safe. And with that said, we are going to completely wipe the slate clean of how we do church for over the next 8 weeks. It's going to be completely different than the way we have done church up until this point. So please listen carefully as we explain to you what is going to change over the next 8 weeks. Number one, there's not going to be any more Wednesday evening activities. Thrive and J12 has a host of people here and ages all mixed together. One of the things that we have learned with consultation with local physicians is that the epidemic seems to be spreading as young people can contract the virus and yet they don't have any symptoms that show, and they carry the virus and give it to older individuals whom it can be very deadly for. And so one of the things they recommend is that we separate our ages out. People who are above the age of 60 are at a much greater risk for this virus than those who are below the age of 60. And so for that reason, we're going to be canceling Wednesday evening activities because there is just a mass mixing of ages in that event. So from this point forward, Wednesday evening activities will be canceled until next season kicks off in September. Secondly, all trips or events at MaconFBC are going to be canceled or postponed until after May 17th. That gives us this 8-week window in which we're not going to be taking students, we're not going to be taking children, we're not going to be taking SALT ministry groups out and possibly infecting them by traveling to other areas that might be infected. We're going to try and limit the exposure and limit our activities and limit our events as much as we can. With that said, Sunday mornings are going to be very different. The way that we do Sunday morning church is going to be very different because of the need to limit the size of the groups that gather, the need to cleanse and disinfect after the groups gather, and the need to prevent the mixing of ages. So here's what Sunday mornings are going to look like. For the next 8 weeks until May 17th, there will be no more grow groups. We need to have time between our two worship service times to clean and disinfect the area that we're going to be using for services. Not only that, but when you come into the church setup is going to look very different. We're going to have 4 different locations throughout our building for smaller groups to meet. We'll be able to stream the service to each of these 4 locations. 2 of the locations will be in the multi-purpose room. They will be just separated by space. A 3rd will be in the chapel, and a 4th will be in our lower level in the basement. So effectively, we'll have 4 areas of groups, about 50 to 60 chairs in each section. And when one section is full, we'll put people in the next section. When that section is full, we'll move to the next section and until they're all full. We believe that we'll be able to host everyone while at the same time keeping everyone distinct and separate in those smaller groups so that there's less contagion. Not only that, but we are also asking for a distinction in ages. If you are above the age of 50 and you do not have children at home or grandchildren in your home, we want you to come to the service that will begin at 8 o'clock on Sunday mornings. That service will go until 9:30. There will be no childcare. There will be no children here at that time. At 9:30, we ask everyone that's been a part of that first service to leave the building, to leave the premises, to go on home and give us time to clean and disinfect our bathrooms, our door handles, and things of that nature in preparation for the 10:30 service. At 10:30, We welcome everyone that is below the age of 50 or families with children to gather at that particular time, and we will come in and we will worship together. That service will be live streamed to our website. So if you feel more comfortable staying home and watching from the safety of your home because you are a higher risk individual, we completely understand that, and we want to provide that opportunity for you. And so you will be able to watch our services live as if you are here worshiping with us in body, but you will simply be worshiping with us in spirit. Those services will come to a conclusion at noon, and everyone will go home. We will not be having Sunday evening services, nor will we be having choir. Choir is a mixing of ages in the choir itself, but also if the choir is to sing in both services, then we have the mixing of ages again. And so we just believe it is in the best interest of the church for the next 8 weeks until May 17th to postpone and cancel choir. A couple of other things to keep in mind over the next 8 weeks. It's a really big time in the church calendar. It's Good Friday. It's Easter. We want to care for our church family. We want to celebrate the Lord's resurrection, but we want to do so safely. And so as of this time, we are not going to be having a Good Friday service where we celebrate communion. The passing of plates is potentially very dangerous. The mixing of ages, again, is potentially very dangerous. And so we want to limit that exposure. So we will not be having a Good Friday service at this time. Easter will function just like the service, as I just mentioned a minute ago. We will have 4 different locations throughout the church building, which we believe will be able to adequately hold everyone that wants to come and worship the Lord, and in a safe manner. As far as offering goes, we will be collecting offering, but we will not be passing plates. We will have individuals standing at the doors, and as you leave, if you feel led of the Lord to give, or if you have the capacity to give, then we encourage you to give at that time as you leave. It also minimizes the spread. We've also set up our seats with some distance between them, and we ask that you not try and move the seats together. We want to keep the seats as they are per recommendations of CDC for social distancing and things of that nature. So please, when you come in, just find a seat. Please do not bring out more chairs from the closet. We know that we have a limited number of space, but we are ready for this. We are prepared for this, and we just need you to trust us and follow our lead on this. We believe that we can do this. We believe that we can keep you safe. We believe that we can still worship together effectively in this manner if everyone can work together. We encourage you to be praying for us as we lead. We want to make the right decisions. We want to make the wise decisions. We want to keep everyone safe. We want to keep everyone connected to the Lord and to one another in the safest way possible. Thank you, MaconFBC, for understanding. I love you. I look forward to worshiping with you for the next few weeks. God bless.